Well, you do, big boy.
Let's go, yeah!
I'm out!
Nice.
Not really.
I have to adjust for a wind shift.
No problem.
Come on!
Cavalry's here.
It's about time!
Wait.
Shoot up! You're aiming!
Rip it, we're coming in hot.
Let's go. Your dudes! Pronounce you. Rock and roll!
Me no!
Chaos! Come on, come on, come on! Come on, get up!
Back. Move it.
Get the plutonium on the plane!
I'm out!
Oh, there he is!
Yippee-ki-yay.
Who is next? Rambo?
Maggot! What did he come to? We have a spec.
more.
That's your problem.
Are you sheep?
Coming right up. Come on! Yes. Name was Billy. Where the hell are you?
What?
Let's roll. Come on.
I'm out.
I'm out. Good luck.
Time to mow it along!
Go, go, go! How much we getting paid for this?
Caesar, we're coming your way. Try to stay as close as you can. A huge black guy in a boat. Hold it, you got it. You alright?
Yeah?
Pull over!
Try again.
Go, go, go! Nice job.
What happened to the old crew? He puts 3 slugs into my... All dead! Because you couldn't swing once!
It's hard to fathom. I can't.
Jag har inte på.
Big trouble.
Lucky again, bro. I'm trying to...
Small groups and go out to the ground floor.
I don't want to. What? You...
One there. They're on our flank! Bring it to them! Up the shaft, Thor. You gotta protect that signal.
you give yourself a stroke. It's in the house! Hit something!
Caesar, assholes!
You finish?
Drummer! Evac in 5.
Got it.
Let's go!
Come on, guys, move it.
We're pinned down!
Good morning.
For trench? Yeah. You pay me more? Que me dice, no me confundo. Después le pego.
Garbage in the back.
Come on, Barney!
Hey guys, today we're diving headfirst into the explosive world of the Expendables 2. A movie that absolutely redefines more is more. We're talking about a reunion of action legends. A symphony of destruction and enough testosterone to fuel a small country. This is a passion project for me, and a like or a subscribe is the best way to show your support. So if you're on board, join the crew. If not, thanks for watching anyway. The movie kicks off, no messing about, as we crash into Nepal, where the Expendables are doing what they do best, rescuing people in style. Our heroes, led by Barney Ross, descend from the sky in a sleek, powerful helicopter, ready to unleash a cacophony of controlled chaos. The ground trembles as their heavy assault vehicle plows through the compound's defenses, tearing through concrete and steel like tissue paper. Gunner, with that unmistakable maniacal grin, unleashes a torrent of lead from his massive machine gun, the metallic clatter a perfect rhythm to the explosions blooming round him. Lee Christmas, ever the agile knife expert, darts through the enemy lines like a shadow, his blades whizzing through the air with deadly precision. It's an immediate, visceral immersion into their world of high-stakes, high-octane warfare amidst the thunderous roar of battle and the piercing screams of bullets ricocheting off every surface. Barney and Christmas spot their target, a vital hostage being transported in a heavily armored tank. This isn't just a rescue, it's a spectacle of coordinated chaos. They leap onto the moving behemoth with almost impossible agility, a true ballet of brutality. Barney uses his formidable strength to wrench open the hatch, a heavy clang echoing through the den. While Christmas, with his signature flick of the wrist, dispatches guards with breathtaking speed and silent, deadly throws of his knives. Each throw is accompanied by a satisfying thud as the blades find their mark. Toll Road, a mountain of muscle, covers them with a relentless hail of gunfire, his weapon spitting fire and emptying magazines at an alarming rate. The spent casings raining down like metallic confetti. Yin Yang, ever the silent and efficient warrior, is a blur of martial arts prowess, striking enemies with powerful, cracking blows that reverberate through the air. The combined effort is seamless, a well-oiled machine of destruction that leaves no room for resistance, just pure, unadulterated carnage. With the hostage secured and the mission parameters seemingly met, the team makes a hasty retreat to their colossal cargo plane, a beast of an aircraft that could probably transport a small village. The engines roar to life, a deep, guttural rumble that shakes the very ground, promising a quick escape. But as always in Expendables land, things are never that simple. Just as they begin their takeoff roll, a horde of enemy vehicles, packed with screaming soldiers, converges on the runway, their tires kicking up plumes of dust. The air is immediately thick with incoming rounds, the plane's metal skin groaning under the impact of countless bullets. They blast through a reinforced gate, a satisfying crash of splintering wood and twisted metal, but the real obstacle appears, a massive truck loaded with explosives, parked directly in their path. It's a classical bother moment, but for a team that eats trouble for breakfast, it's just another Tuesday. Barney, with a cool head amidst the explosions, navigates the giant bird, preparing for what looks like an impossible stunt. This plane is definitely not cleared for such aerial shenanigans. Now, for most people, dealing with an explosive-laden truck blocking their escape route would be a significant buskill. For Barney Ross, it's just another opportunity to show off. In a move that defies all logic and several laws of physics, he hops onto a motorcycle, grabs a couple of grenades, and, without a moment's hesitation, rides straight out of the cargo bay's front, plummeting towards the ground. The wind rushes past him, a deafening roar in his ears, as he hurtles towards the unsuspecting truck. It's pure cinematic adrenaline. As he gets close enough, he precisely lobs the grenades, the small spheres arcing perfectly through the air before landing on the truck. A split second later, a colossal explosion rips through the air, sending flames and debris sky high. The blast creates a clear path for the plane, which miraculously manages to ascend, the ground shaking as it barely clears the expanding fireball. Barney somehow manages to swing back onto the plane, hanging by a thread, before being pulled to safety. Just another day at the office for the world's most overqualified delivery service, back at their surprisingly cozy, yet undeniably industrial, base of operations. The Expendables are in full wind-down mode. The air is filled with the clinking of glasses, the rumble of laughter, and the casual, almost mundane, banter of men who've just cheated death for the umpteenth time. Barney, looking surprisingly unruffled for someone who just rode a motorcycle off a plane, joins the crew. Christmas is giving Gunner a hard time. As always, their playful jabs a testament to their deep, if slightly twisted, camaraderie. Caesar is quietly cleaning his massive shotgun. The methodical clicks a stark contrast to the earlier mayhem, while Toll Road regales the others with a detailed description of some gruesome injury he sustained, much to the collective, exaggerated groans of his teammates. It's a moment of calm before the storm, a fleeting glimpse into the humanity beneath the hardened exteriors. They're a family, albeit one that expresses affection through coordinated explosions and the occasional near-death experience. This is what team bonding looks like when your job description includes professional menace, amidst the boisterous camaraderie. A quieter, more poignant moment unfolds as Billy, the team's sharpshooting sniper and perhaps the most normal of the bunch, pulls Barney aside. He reveals a poem he's written, a raw and heartfelt expression of his desire for a life beyond the constant cling of spent shells and the boom of explosions. His voice, usually steady and calm during firefights, holds a tremor of hope and weariness. He speaks of his girlfriend, of wanting to settle down, to experience a world where the biggest threat isn't a small army, but a misplaced remote control. Barney, ever the grizzled mentor, listens with a mixture of understanding and a subtle, unspoken sadness. He knows the allure of a normal life, a dream that often feels impossibly distant for men like them. There's a quiet pact between them, a promise from Barney to help Billy leave the life behind after this next job, a last hurrah before trading grenades for garden gnomes. It's a rare moment of vulnerability in a film built on concrete and firepower. A glimpse into the Tolder lifestyle takes just as the team starts to properly unwind. The calm is shattered by the rival of Church, portrayed by the one and only Bruce Willis, oozing an aura of cynical authority. He strides in, a man who knows exactly how to make an entrance and exert his will. The tension in the room ratchets up immediately, the easy banter replaced by a charged silence. Church isn't there for a friendly chat or to share war stories. He's here to collect. He reminds Barney of a debt, a previous favor that now needs to be repaid. His voice is firm, leaving no room for negotiation. The mission? A seemingly simple package retrieval from a downed plane in Albania. It sounds like a milk run, a quick in and out, but with Church involved, you just know it's going to be anything but. He assigns them a new member, Maggie, an expert in something or other, and warns them about the contents of the package. It's clear this isn't just about the package. It's about a deeper, more dangerous game, and the Expendables are now unwilling pawns in it. The casual clinking of bottles is replaced by the metallic click of weapons being checked. Vacation's over, folks. ***, enter Maggie, played by Nanu, a woman who immediately stands out amongst the sea of weathered faces and bulging biceps. She's not here for the muscle. She's here for the brains and the technical know-how. With a calm demeanor that belies the high stakes, Maggie begins to lay out the specifics of their mission. Her voice is clear, concise, and utterly professional, cutting through the usual rough and tumble dialogue of the Expendables. She explains the downed plane, the precise coordinates in Albania, and the critical nature of the package. It's not just some package. It's something incredibly valuable, potentially dangerous, and definitely something bad guys would kill for. Her presence instantly changes the dynamic, adding a layer of sophisticated espionage to their usual brute force approach. Barney, ever the skeptic but also a pragmatist, listens intently, recognizing the value of her expertise. The team, while initially a bit wary of an outsider, quickly understands that Maggie is all business, her knowledge vital for navigating the intricate, dangerous landscape they're about to enter. The simple milk run is rapidly escalating into something far more complex. The Expendables, with Maggie now firmly in tow, touch down in a desolate, almost otherworldly corner of Albania. The landscape is bleak, rugged, and feels like a forgotten post-apocalyptic movie set, which, let's be honest, is probably how these guys feel most days. The air hangs heavy with a sense of foreboding, a stark contrast to the dusty warmth of their home base. They disembark, spreading out to search for the downed plane, their movements practiced and efficient. Barney leads the way, his eyes constantly scanning the horizon, every sense on high alert. Christmas moves with a quiet grace, his eyes darting through the sparse vegetation, while Caesar and Toll Road provide heavy support, their boots crunching on the dry earth. Maggie, despite being new to their specific brand of chaos, keeps pace, her technical gear and focus gaze a testament to her preparedness. The silence, broken only by the crunch of their boots and the distant cry of a bird, is almost deafening after the earlier battles. It's the kind of silence that usually precedes a very loud, very violent storm. You can practically taste the impending trouble in the air. After navigating treacherous terrain and avoiding countless unseen threats, the team finally stumbles upon the wreckage of the downed plane. It's a mangled mess of twisted metal and shattered glass, a grim monument to a mission gone wrong for someone else. But for the Expendables, it's just another waypoint. They methodically search the debris, their eyes sharp, until Barney, guided by Maggie's precise instructions, locates the target, a heavily reinforced briefcase. The metallic click as he opens it is surprisingly loud in the quiet wreckage. Inside, bathed in a soft, eerie blue glow, is a complex device, almost alien in its design. It pulsates faintly, hinting at immense power or dangerous secrets. Maggie immediately recognizes its significance, explaining its role as a decryption device or a key to something far greater. Billy, with his keen eye, is equally intrigued, examining the glowing object with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. The moment is charged with a quiet tension, the discovery confirming that this milk run is anything but. This isn't just a gadget. It's a ticking time bomb of geopolitical trouble, and they've just laid hands on the detonator. Just as the team is about to extract the glowing device, the air turns thick with an ominous silence. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up, because you just know it's about to get incredibly loud. From the shadows of the surrounding forest, a formidable force of heavily armed mercenaries emerges, led by a man whose very presence radiates cold, calculating menace, Jean Vilain. Played by Jean-Claude Van Damme, Vilain is everything a villain should be: stylish, deadly, and utterly without remorse. His sayings, a brutal private army, swarm around the Expendables, their weapons raised, their faces devoid of emotion. It's a classic ambush, perfectly executed, leaving our heroes surrounded and outgunned. The tension is palpable, the metallic click of safeties being disengaged echoing through the wreckage. Vilain, with a chillingly calm voice, demands the package. He's not here to negotiate. He's here to take what he wants, and he doesn't care who gets in his way. This isn't just a confrontation. It's a predator sizing up its prey, and for the first time, the Expendables look like they might actually be on the menu. The odds are stacked and the air crackles with danger. This guy's clearly been watching too many villain monologue tutorials. The standoff reaches its agonizing climax. Vilain, with a cold, piercing gaze, demands the package. Barney, ever the protector of his crew, attempts to buy time to negotiate for Billy's life, but Vilain is beyond reason. In a cruel twist of fate, he targets Billy, the youngest, the one who dreamed of leaving the violence behind. With a swift, brutal movement, Vilain plunges a knife deep into Billy's chest. The metallic clang of the blade is sickeningly audible, followed by Billy's gasp, a sound that rips through the hearts of his comrades. It's a gut-wrenching moment, a deliberate act of malice designed to wound Barney and the entire team. Billy collapses, the life draining from his eyes, the poem he'd written for his girlfriend slipping from his grasp. The silence that follows is deafening, heavy with shock and disbelief, quickly replaced by a primal roar of grief and rage from Barney. This isn't just a casualty of war. It's a personal affront, a deliberate murder of one of their own. The team is shattered, their faces contorted in a mixture of pain and unadulterated fury. The lightheartedness of earlier moments is now utterly gone, replaced by a dark, burning desire for retribution. The immediate aftermath of Billy's death is a maelstrom of grief and an unshakable resolve for vengeance. The team, battered and broken, gathers for a makeshift funeral in the desolate Albanian landscape. The silence is profound, broken only by the rustling wind and the quiet, heavy breaths of hardened men grappling with an unimaginable loss. Barney, his face etched with sorrow and a cold, simmering rage, places Billy's unfinished poem on a small, crude wooden cross marking the grave. It's a gut-punch moment, a stark reminder of the innocent life cut short and the dreams violently extinguished. The act solidifies their mission, no longer just about retrieving a package. It's now deeply personal. They vow, with grim determination, to hunt down Jean Vilain and make him pay. Every man's eyes burn with the same unspoken promise: Vilain will suffer. It's not just justice. It's an old-school, blood-for-blood vendetta that will stop at nothing. The metallic clang of weapons being reloaded isn't just preparation. It's a declaration of war. This is where Expendables goes from a job to a crusade. And honestly, who needs therapy when you have unlimited ammo and a target? On board their rugged cargo plane, now a mobile command center, the mood is grim but focused. Maggie, with intense concentration, begins to work on the recovered glowing device. Her fingers fly across the interface, the blue light of the gadget casting an eerie glow on her face. The machine whirs and clicks, slowly revealing its true purpose. Suddenly, a complex, three-dimensional map projects from the device, swirling with topographical data and marked locations. It's a map of old Soviet-era plutonium mines, abandoned and forgotten, but now clearly the target of Vilain's nefarious plans. Maggie explains, her voice grave, that these mines contain enough raw plutonium to make multiple nuclear warheads, a terrifying prospect that would plunge the world into a new era of terror. The stakes are instantly raised from personal revenge to global catastrophe. Barney and the team grasp the terrifying implications, the metallic clang of their initial mission now replaced by the chilling prospect of a nuclear nightmare. This isn't just about Vilain. It's about preventing an unspeakable global disaster. Their revenge must now coincide with saving the world. A classic 2-for-1 special fueled by both personal grief and a newfound global responsibility. The Expendables are now a relentless force, an unstoppable juggernaut of vengeance. Their jeep tears across the desolate, dusty landscape, kicking up plumes of dirt like a metallic monster. Barney, his eyes fixed on the horizon, drives with a grim determination, the wheel groaning under his tight grip. Christmas, ever watchful, scans the surroundings, his hand resting instinctively on his knife hilt. The team is silent, the roar of the engine and the creak of the suspension the only sounds, a testament to their unwavering focus. They're following every scrap of intelligence, every faint trail, trying to predict Vilain's next move. Maggie, with her technological prowess, provides real-time updates, guiding them through the maze of the treacherous terrain. This is a manhunt, pure and simple, but with the added pressure of a ticking nuclear clock. The metallic clang of fate is closing in, and they know they're the only ones who can stop it. It's like a very dangerous scavenger hunt, except the prize is world peace, and the clues are bullet casings. Fun times, their relentless pursuit leads them to a small, desolate village, a place where oppression hangs heavy in the air like the dust. It's immediately clear this place is under Vilain's iron fist. The sight of villagers being forced into brutal labor, their faces etched with fear and exhaustion, ignites a fresh spark of rage within the team. The metallic clang of tools hitting rock, the occasional crack of a whip, these aren't just sounds. They're insults to human dignity. Barney and the team observe from a distance, hidden amongst the sparse foliage, their expressions hardening with each passing moment. This isn't just about the plutonium. It's about freeing these people from the monstrous grip of Vilain's tyranny. They know a direct assault would put the villagers at risk, so a more strategic approach is needed, but the urge to unleash immediate retribution is almost overwhelming. The air is thick with tension, a prelude to the storm they're about to unleash. This guy Vilain really needs to learn some basic human decency, but I guess that's not in the job description for evil warlord. Unable to stand by and watch the villagers suffer, Barney gives the signal. The Expendables launch a swift, surgical strike, exploding from their hiding spots with a primal roar. Gunfire erupts, a thunderous symphony of vengeance, as they immediately engage Vilain's soldiers. Christmas's knives hum through the air, finding their marks with ruthless efficiency, each thud a testament to his deadly skill. Toll Road and Caesar unleash a relentless barrage of heavy machine gun fire, suppressing enemy positions, the metallic clang of their weapons a constant, terrifying rhythm. The goal isn't just to kill, it's to create an opening, a window of opportunity for the terrified villagers to escape. Barney, with Maggie by his side, shouts directions, urging the civilians to flee while they draw the enemy's attention. The villagers, at first stunned, quickly seize their chance, scattering into the surrounding terrain, their movement spurred by newfound hope. It's a moment of selfless heroism amidst the chaos, a clear demonstration that despite their hardened exteriors, the Expendables fight for more than just money or revenge. They fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. It's almost touching, if you can ignore the constant explosions, with the villagers safely dispersed and a trail of defeated Sangs in their wake. The Expendables quickly regroup. Maggie, using the device, deduces Vilain's likely next move. He's heading to a major transit hub, an airport, to facilitate the transport of the plutonium. The metallic clang of new intel landing drives them onward. Their vehicle roars to life once more, hurtling down dusty roads towards the distant rumble of jets. Barney pushes the engine to its limits, knowing that every second counts. The teen reloads, checks their gear, and prepares for what promises to be a much larger, more coordinated confrontation. This isn't just a skirmish. It's a battle for a critical choke point. The stakes are rising exponentially, and the potential for civilian casualties at a public airport adds another layer of grim urgency to their mission. This is where their legendary reputation for urban warfare will be put to the ultimate test. They're about to turn an airport into an unexpected, explosive battleground, probably causing a lot of missed flights. Sorry, travelers, some things are more important than luggage check. Arriving at the airport, the Expendables face a different kind of challenge: stealth. For a group whose usual modus operandi involves explosions and loud declarations, blending in is a novel concept. They move through the bustling terminal, a symphony of hurried footsteps, loudspeaker announcements, and the distant rumble of planes. Barney, despite his imposing stature, melts into the background with surprising ease, his eyes constantly sweeping, assessing threats. Christmas, with his agile frame, navigates the crowds like a ghost, his hand casually resting near his concealed knives. The metallic clang of luggage carts and the chatter of travelers are a stark contrast to the quiet tension among the team. They locate their targets, Vilain sings, disguised as regular travelers, a wolf in sheep's clothing, though with noticeably more tactical gear and suspiciously bulging pockets. The air crackles with anticipation, the calm before the inevitable storm. You just know that any moment, this mundane travel hub is about to become a very exciting, very violent action movie set. Hopefully, the duty-free shop is insured for explosive damage. The moment of quiet infiltration shatters into a symphony of gunfire and screams. The airport, moments ago a hub of mundane travel, explodes into a full-blown war zone. The metallic clang of bullets hitting tile and glass is deafening as the Expendables unleash their full, unbridled fury. Civilians scream, scattering in sheer terror, their travel plans abruptly ruined by the sudden eruption of combat. Barney, a force of nature, barrels through enemy lines, his shotgun roaring, each blast a concussive wave. Christmas is a whirlwind of lethal elegance, his knives flashing, taking down enemies with breathtaking speed and precision. Toll Road and Caesar provide thunderous covering fire, their heavy weapons spitting fire, sending enemy soldiers flying. It's absolute pandemonium, a ballet of destruction played out against a backdrop of departure boards and baggage claim carousels. Vilain sings, though numerous, are clearly outmatched by the sheer, brutal efficiency of the Expendables. The fight isn't just about eliminating threats. It's about controlling the chaos, minimizing civilian harm, and getting closer to Vilain. This airport is definitely getting a 1-star rating on Yelp today, just when it seems like the sheer numbers of Vilain sayings might overwhelm our heroes, the cavalry arrives. And what a cavalry it is! From an unexpected entrance, Church, with a Reismerk and an automatic rifle, and Trench, played by the legendary Arnold Schwarzenegger, with his own colossal firearm, burst into the fray. Guns blazing. Their arrival is marked by a sudden escalation of firepower, a thunderous symphony of 2 additional heavy hitters joining the metallic clang of battle. Church, moving with a surprising agility for a man of his stature, lays down a devastating stream of fire, his face set in a grim determination. Trench, ever the one for dramatic entrances, unleashes a torrent of lead, his booming laughter echoing over the explosions as he decimates enemy ranks. Their combined presence instantly shifts the momentum of the battle, turning a desperate struggle into a decisive rout. The Expendables, momentarily surprised but quickly emboldened, redouble their efforts, tearing through the remaining Sangs with renewed vigor. It's like watching to extra-strength energy drinks getting poured into an already turbocharged engine. More legends, more explosions, more fun. Despite the combined might of the Expendables, Church, and Trench, Vilain proves to be a slippery adversary. Amidst the chaos of the airport battle, he makes his calculated escape, slipping away in a sleek black SUV that speeds off into the distance, leaving a trail of smoke and thwarted rage. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but he leaves something behind, another one of the glowing devices, hinting at its mass production. Maggie, ever the quick thinker, snatches it up, immediately connecting it to the network of mines. The device reveals his final destination, the main plutonium mine, where the entire operation is centralized. The metallic clang of their target being confirmed fills them with renewed purpose. It's a race against time now, a desperate dash to prevent Vilain from fully weaponizing the plutonium. The scale of the threat is immense, almost laughably so, if it wasn't so deadly serious. From personal revenge to global crisis, that's a pretty intense career trajectory, even for these guys. The next stop is the Heart of Darkness, and they're bringing the thunder, the convoy. Now bolstered by the formidable presence of Church and Trench, hurtles through a stark, snow-dusted mountainous landscape. The terrain is brutal, unforgiving, mirroring the grim resolve etched on the faces of the team. The engines roar, a steady, powerful thrum that vibrates through their vehicles, a mechanical heartbeat propelling them towards their ultimate showdown. Barney drives with a steely gaze, his hands gripping the wheel, his mind already calculating trajectories and anticipating threats. Church and Trench, in their respective vehicles, exude an air of unwavering focus, their combined might a palpable force. Maggie, focused on her tech, constantly updates their route, her voice calm amidst the growing tension. The metallic clang of the cold air against the vehicle frames and the silence between their radios add to the almost reverent atmosphere. This isn't just a drive, it's a pilgrimage to the heart of the enemy's lair, a journey into the mouth of a nuclear beast. The air itself feels heavy with the weight of their mission. You can practically hear the dramatic soundtrack swelling in the background, complete with a choir dot just when you think they might catch a break. Vilain, ever the meticulous planner, springs another nasty surprise. As the convoy crosses a precarious, narrow mountain bridge, explosions rip through the air, sending shards of rock and twisted metal flying. Sniper fire erupts from the surrounding ridges, pinning them down. It's a textbook ambush, designed to eliminate them before they even reach the mines. The metallic clang of bullets hitting the bridge supports is deafening, mingling with the cries of startled birds and the roar of their vehicles. The Expendables immediately spring into action, returning fire with their usual brutal efficiency. Barney, Church, and Trench coordinate their defense, their combined firepower a formidable wall against the onslaught. Christmas, with his characteristic agility, darts across the bridge, taking down snipers with impossible shots. Toll Road and Caesar unleash a torrent of heavy fire, suppressing the enemy, their weapons spitting fire and death. It's a desperate fight for survival, a testament to Vilain's ruthlessness and the Expendables' unyielding resilience. They're literally fighting for every inch, making sure no one gets to yell "You shall not pass" this time! Just as the ambush threatens to overwhelm them, and the Expendables find themselves in a genuinely tight spot, a shadowy figure appears on the horizon, moving with a silent, deadly grace. It's Booker, played by the legendary Chuck Norris, and his rival is nothing short of miraculous. He doesn't just join the fight, he ends it. With a few impossibly swift movements and the metallic clang of defeated enemies, he single-handedly neutralizes an entire squad of Vilain's highly trained mercenaries, making it look as easy as swatting flies. The stunned silence from both sides is broken only by the whimpers of the remaining Sangs, who quickly decide discretion is the better part of valor and flee. Booker's presence is a game-changer, turning the tide of battle with minimal effort and maximum impact. He's a walking, talking force of nature, a one-man army who seemingly appears just when things look dire. His quiet, almost laconic demeanor contrasts sharply with the explosive chaos he just quelled. The Expendables, while not easily impressed, are clearly relieved and a little awestruck by his legendary prowess. It's like calling in a tactical nuclear strike, but with more denim and fewer global ramifications after his awe-inspiring display of martial prowess. Booker, the lone wolf as he's aptly named, shares critical intelligence with Barney. His voice is calm, measured, carrying the weight of years of solitary warfare. He speaks of Vilain's strengthened defenses around the main plutonium mine, detailing troop movements and fortified positions. Knowledge he's clearly acquired through a lifetime of operating deep behind enemy lines. He also confirms the grim reality of the slave labor, adding another layer of urgency and moral imperative to their mission. The metallic clang of his wisdom solidifies their understanding of the enemy. It's a moment of old-school respect and an immediate, unspoken alliance. Booker isn't one for long goodbyes. He simply states his intentions and moves on, a phantom warrior lending his formidable skills when most needed. His departure is as sudden and enigmatic as his arrival, leaving the Expendables with renewed hope and a sense of shared purpose. Knowing Chuck Norris is out there somewhere, even tangentially on their side, is definitely a morale boost. It's like having a cheat code activated for real life. The journey continues, and soon, the sprawling, industrial silhouette of Vilain's main plutonium mine complex looms on the horizon. It's a monster scar on the landscape, a testament to human greed and destruction. The metallic clang of their vehicle doors opening signals the seriousness of the moment. The air grows colder, heavier, charged with the palpable sense of an impending confrontation. Barney issues commands, his voice low and firm, ensuring everyone knows their role in the impending chaos. Church and Trench, now fully integrated into the plan, prepare their weapons, their faces grimly determined. Maggie checks her devices, ensuring she can track every possible move Vilain makes. The team is a well-oiled machine, each member a crucial cog in the engine of vengeance and justice. This isn't just another mission. It's the culmination of everything they stand for, a battle against tyranny and a fight for Billy's memory. The fate of the world, quite literally, hangs in the balance, and these hardened mercenaries are surprisingly the only ones who can save it. Talk about unexpected heroes. The final assault begins with the stealthiest members of the team. Christmas and Yin Yang, masters of silent infiltration, move like shadows through the mine's outer perimeter. The metallic clang of their gear is muffled, their footsteps barely disturbing the dust. They expertly navigate tripwires and laser grids, their movements a synchronized dance of deadly grace. Christmas uses his signature knives not just as weapons, but as tools, severing wires with precision, the soft snip barely audible. Yin Yang, a blur of motion, disables guards with swift, bone-crushing blows, his hands moving with incredible speed and power, each strike a muffled thud. They breach the heavily fortified fence, creating an entry point for the rest of the team. It's a tense, nerve-wracking sequence, a delicate operation that requires absolute focus and flawless execution. Any mistake could compromise the entire mission. The silence is thick, punctuated only by the occasional distant groan of machinery from inside the mine. This is the calm before the storm, the quiet breath before the eruption of hell itself. With the perimeter breached, all hell breaks loose. The Expendables burst into the main mine compound, a symphony of explosions, gunfire, and guttural war cries. The metallic clang of bullets hitting reinforced walls and vehicles is deafening, a relentless percussive assault. Barney leads the charge, his shotgun blasting, each shot echoing like thunder. Gunner, with a maniacal laugh, unleashes a torrent of lead from his massive machine gun, shredding through enemy lines. Toll Road and Caesar plow through enemy vehicles in their armored truck, reducing them to twisted metal and fire. It's a full-scale assault, a concentrated wave of destruction designed to overwhelm Vilain's forces and clear a path to the central control room. The air is thick with smoke, dust, and the stench of burnt gunpowder. Enemy soldiers fall like dominoes, unable to withstand the relentless, coordinated attack. This isn't just a firefight. It's an extermination, a cleansing fire unleashed by men driven by righteous fury. They're making a very loud, very clear statement. You mess with one of them, you mess with all of them, and then some. This compound is getting quite the redecoration, courtesy of high explosives. Amidst the sprawling chaos, Barney's focus is singular, Vilain. He spots his nemesis fleeing deeper into the labyrinthine mine complex, and the pursuit is on. It's a brutal game of cat and mouse, played out amidst collapsing tunnels and exploding machinery. The metallic clang of their footsteps on metal grates and the distant echoes of their struggle paint a vivid picture of their desperate chase. Barney moves with a raw, almost animalistic determination, his face a mask of cold fury. He blasts through obstacles, kicks down doors, and throws himself into narrow passageways, never losing sight of his target. Vilain, ever the cunning strategist, sets traps, detonates charges, and sends wave after wave of his remaining sayings to slow Barney down, but nothing works. Each obstacle only fuels Barney's rage, pushing him harder, faster. This isn't just a chase. It's a collision course, a personal battle that will only end with one man standing. The air crackles with tension, the anticipation of their inevitable face-off almost unbearable. This is the moment the entire film has been building towards. And it's going to be absolutely brutal. Meanwhile, away from Barney's vengeful pursuit, Maggie and Christmas find themselves in the nerve center of Vilain's operation, a heavily guarded control room where the nuclear devices are being armed. The metallic clang of their equipment, coupled with the ominous beeping of the bomb, fills the confined space. Maggie, with her deep technical expertise, immediately goes to work, her fingers flying across complex panels, attempting to override Vilain's arming sequence. Her face is a picture of intense concentration, sweat beading on her forehead as she races against the ticking clock. Christmas, ever the protector, provides vigilant cover, his knives ready. His eyes constantly scanning for any sign of remaining sanks, he dispatches a few stragglers with swift, silent movements, ensuring Maggie can focus. The tension is excruciating, the fate of millions resting on their combined skills. Every wire snipped, every button pressed, feels like a monumental decision. It's a different kind of fight, one of intellect and precision rather than raw firepower, but no less deadly. They're literally playing Global Bomb Squad, which is way more stressful than defusing a faulty toaster elsewhere in the collapsing mine. Gunner, in a moment of self-proclaimed heroic sacrifice, rigs a massive amount of explosives to clear a blocked tunnel. He screams a dramatic "Hasta la vista, baby," or something equally bombastic, and then detonates the charges. The resulting explosion is, as expected, absolutely colossal, sending a tremor through the entire complex and tearing a gaping hole in the tunnel. Dust, rocks, and debris fly everywhere, momentarily obscuring his fate. For a split second, you think, "Oh no, not Gunner." But then, with a triumphant grin plastered across his face, he emerges from the swirling cloud of dust and smoke, completely unscathed, perhaps even a little invigorated. The metallic clang of falling debris and his booming laughter fill the air. He looks like a kid who just got away with something truly spectacular. It's a classic Gunner move, combining maximum destruction with zero personal injury. His sacrifice was more of a really loud shortcut, proving once again that some people just love a good explosion a little too much. Honestly, that guy probably sleeps on a bed of sea for fun. Just as the Expendables start to feel the strain of fighting Vilain's seemingly endless supply of sanks, the heavy roar of approaching vehicles signals another dramatic entrance. Church and Trench, true to their word, arrive with a substantial force of their own soldiers and heavy equipment. They crash into the mine complex like a tidal wave of righteous fury, their combined firepower a deafening symphony of destruction. The metallic clang of their heavy machine guns and the boom of their grenades add a whole new layer of chaos to the already frantic battle. Their arrival instantly turns the tide, overwhelming Vilain's remaining forces who are already stretched thin. It's a glorious moment of coordinated mayhem, a unified front of action legends and their respective armies. The sheer volume of incoming fire is staggering, leaving no room for Vilain's men to regroup or resist. The ground trembles under the weight of their combined assault, signaling the beginning of the end for Vilain's reign of terror. This isn't just a rescue, it's a full-on international intervention, complete with heavy artillery and classic one-liners, with all the players on the field. The final battle erupts into an absolutely colossal, multifaceted war zone. The mine complex becomes a crucible of explosions, gunfire, and close-quarters combat. The metallic clang of steel on steel, the whoosh of flying projectiles, and the thunderous roar of every imaginable weapon combine into a deafening symphony of destruction. Barney, Church, and Trench, leading their respective forces, cut swaths through Vilain's army, their legendary skills on full display. Christmas is a blur of motion, his knives a deadly extension of his will. Toll Road and Caesar unleash hell with their heavy armaments, while Gunner finds every opportunity for a spectacular, explosion-filled entrance. Even Maggie, with a surprisingly capable sidearm, holds her own. It's a magnificent spectacle of synchronized chaos, a testament to the power of overwhelming force when wielded by the absolute best. No corner of the mind is safe from the sheer, unadulterated fury of this combined assault. Vilain's forces are not just fighting, they're being systematically annihilated. This is the kind of battle that makes you want to buy popcorn and cheer, probably from a safe distance, though deep within the crumbling mine, Barney finally corners Vilain. The air itself crackles with the raw hatred simmering between them. The metallic clang of their initial, desperate blows echoes through the confined space. This isn't just a fight, it's a deeply personal vendetta, a brutal clash fueled by Billy's death. Barney unleashes a torrent of powerful punches, each one carrying the weight of his grief and rage, his knuckles cracking against Vilain's jaw. Vilain, a formidable martial artist himself, parries and counters with vicious kicks and strikes, moving with a fluid, deadly grace. The ground beneath them shifts and groans, debris raining down around them, adding another layer of danger to their already intense confrontation. Neither man holds back, each aiming to deliver a decisive, punishing blow. The sounds of their struggle are raw, visceral, punctuated by grunts of effort and the dull thud of flesh on flesh. It's a primal, no-holds-barred brawl, showcasing the brutal efficacy of two highly trained killers finally unleashed on each other. You can practically feel the sheer force behind every punch, and it makes you wince just watching. Don't try this at home, kids, unless you're an actual action movie legend. Just as their brutal fight reaches a fever pitch, a massive explosion from deeper within the mine rattles the entire complex. The ground buckles and the tunnel they're fighting in begins to violently collapse. Rocks, dust, and twisted metal rain down around them, temporarily separating Barney and Vilain. The metallic clang of falling debris and the roar of the collapsing structure are deafening, forcing them to break off their direct confrontation. Barney, momentarily disoriented but quickly recovering, finds himself flung in a different direction than Vilain. The pursuit immediately resumes, now intensified by the rapidly deteriorating environment. It's a desperate race through crumbling corridors and unstable passageways, with the very ground giving way beneath their feet. The element of pure chaos is dialed up to 11, adding a terrifying urgency to their personal vendetta. They're not just fighting each other, they're fighting the mine itself, which seems intent on burying them both. This whole place is giving health and safety violation a whole new meaning. While Barney hunts Vilain, Christmas finds himself facing a truly explosive dilemma. He sees a series of interconnected explosives, armed and ready to blow the entire mine sky high, causing a devastating chain reaction. The metallic clang of the remote detonator on a console and the ominous blinking red lights fill him with urgency. The critical fuse, however, is across a perilous chasm, seemingly out of reach. But for Christmas, out of reach is just a suggestion. With a calm, unwavering gaze, he pulls one of his signature knives, weighing it in his hand. He then hurls it with breathtaking precision across the gap. The knife spins end over end, a blur of silver, before embedding itself with a satisfying thud directly into the small, critical fuse box. A shower of sparks, a small fizzle, and the ominous red lights on the detonator die out. Disaster averted, thanks to a well-placed piece of cutlery. It's a testament to his uncanny skill and quick thinking, proving that sometimes the most elegant solution is also the most deadly. Take that, evil wiring! Who needs an electrician when you have Lee Christmas? The inevitable happens. Barney finally corners Vilain in a desperate, desolate part of the collapsing mine. There are no more distractions, no more subordinates to hide behind. This is it, the brutal, bloody culmination of their conflict. The metallic clang of Vilain's boots on the metal grate and Barney's heavy breathing are the only sounds. Their final hand-to-hand combat is a visceral, punishing exchange of blows. Barney, fueled by raw vengeance, fights with every fiber of his being, unleashing a flurry of powerful punches and bone-crushing kicks. Vilain, equally skilled and driven by a cold, sadistic fury, matches him blow for blow, his martial arts expertise on full display. The sounds of their struggle are guttural, painful grunts, the sickening thud of impacts, and the harsh rasp of breath. It's a fight to the death, where every strike is meant to maim, to kill. The setting, a crumbling, smoke-filled cavern, adds to the primal intensity, the very environment mirroring the destructive force of their hatred. This is the ultimate showdown, a pure, unadulterated slugfest where only one man will walk away. And honestly, it's probably one of the most satisfying beatdowns ever put on screen after a grueling, back-and-forth struggle that pushes both men to their absolute limits. Barney Ross finally gains the decisive upper hand. With a roar of pure, unadulterated fury, he seizes Vilain, overpowering his resistance. In a moment that's both brutal and deeply satisfying, Barney impales Vilain with a piece of sharpened pipe, a grotesque metallic clang signaling the end. Vilain lets out a final, agonizing gasp, his eyes wide with shock and disbelief as the life drains from him. His reign of terror, his plans for global nuclear devastation, and his personal affront against Barney and his team all come to a screeching, bloody halt. Barney stands over his fallen nemesis, breathing heavily, the raw emotion of vengeance finally sated, but the pain of Billy's loss still palpable in his eyes. It's a grim victory, but a necessary one, a symbolic closure to the personal vendetta that drove them. The quiet that follows, broken only by Barney's ragged breaths, is almost deafening after the cacophony of their battle. Justice in its most brutal form has been served. And honestly, it felt pretty good. With Vilain finally neutralized, the immediate threat shifts back to the ticking nuclear devices. Maggie and Christmas, working with frantic precision, race against the dwindling seconds to disarm the last of the plutonium bombs. The ominous beeping echoes in the control room, a chilling reminder of the global catastrophe they're trying to prevent. The metallic clang of tools and the soft clicks of intricate wiring fill the air as Maggie, her brow furrowed in concentration, meticulously follows the complex disarming sequence. Christmas, ever the practical one, assists by holding wires, providing light, and offering moral support, his usual banter replaced by a focused intensity. Each successful snip of a wire, each deactivated circuit, is met with a collective sigh of relief, a moment of triumph against unimaginable odds. Finally, with mere seconds to spare, the last bomb goes silent, its red lights fading to black. The deafening silence that follows is a testament to the immense pressure they just endured. They've done it! They saved the world, one expertly disarmed nuclear device at a time. This deserves a massive mission accomplished banner, and maybe a few celebratory explosions in a safe, designated area, of course. With Vilain defeated and the nuclear threat averted, the only thing left to do is get out. The entire mine complex is rapidly succumbing to the structural damage, groaning and buckling under the weight of countless explosions and firefights. The team races through the labyrinthine tunnels, navigating collapsing passageways and dodging massive chunks of falling debris. The metallic clang of the collapsing structure is deafening, a relentless roar that chases them. Barney leads the charge, pushing everyone to move faster, ensuring no one is left behind. Church, Trench, and Booger provide cover, their combined firepower clearing any remaining obstacles. It's a frantic, exhilarating escape, a race against the clock and the very ground beneath their feet. They burst out of the crumbling entrance just as the entire structure implodes behind them in a colossal cloud of dust and rubble. They've walked through fire, defeated the villain, and saved the world, all in a day's work. Time for a well-deserved, very strong drink. And maybe some industrial-grade earplugs. Seriously, the noise budget on this film must have been astronomical. Before finally heading home, the Expendables make one last, somber stop. They return to Billy's grave, the makeshift cross now a permanent fixture in the desolate Albanian landscape. The metallic clang of their boots on the dry earth is quiet, almost respectful. Barney stands silently, his hand resting on the cross, a moment of quiet reflection, a silent promise to his fallen comrade. The rest of the team gathers around, their faces etched with a mixture of sorrow and a newfound resolve. Billy's dream of a normal life, a life away from the explosions and the violence, was tragically cut short, but his memory will forever be a part of them. It's a poignant moment, a reminder of the human cost of their dangerous profession. They've avenged him, but that doesn't erase the pain of his loss. They pause, taking in the quiet solemnity. before turning and heading towards their plane, ready to leave this scarred land behind and carry Billy's spirit with them, a silent passenger on their journey home. It's a reminder that even the toughest guys have hearts. Buried deep under layers of tactical gear and sarcasm die as the Expendables plane soars into the sunset, leaving the ravaged landscape of Albania far behind. A sense of weary satisfaction settles over the team. The metallic clang of the plane's controls and the hum of its engines are soothing after the deafening chaos. They faced down a global threat, avenged a fallen Conrad, and defied impossible odds, all in a day's work for these grizzled heroes. The sun casts long shadows across their faces, each etched with the experiences of a lifetime of combat. They look out at the receding horizon, the weight of their actions, both personal and global, finally settling. They are survivors, warriors, and a family, bound by the unforgiving realities of their profession and the unbreakable bonds forged in fire. They know the peace they've fought for is fleeting, that another threat will inevitably rise. But for now, they fly towards the promise of home, of temporary reprieve, and the quiet understanding that they are, indeed, the last of a dying breed, but a breed that always gets the job done. And so, as the dust settles and the echoes of explosions fade, we're left with the quiet strength of men who redefine what it means to be a hero. The Expendables isn't just about the spectacle. It's about the unyielding spirit, the camaraderie forged in fire, and the unwavering commitment to justice, even when the world feels utterly stacked against you. It reminds us that sometimes you need old-school muscle and grit to tackle modern-day evils. These legends, despite their age, prove that experience, a good plan, and an endless supply of ammunition can solve pretty much anything. This journey through their world is a testament to resilience, a call to find your own strength, and a reminder that even in the face of overwhelming odds, hope, backed by a very large gun, can always prevail. Keep fighting, keep laughing, and keep making some noise. The world always needs a few good Expendables. Then we are diving headfirst into the explosive world of the Expendables 3, where the action is so over the top, it practically lives on a different gravitational plane. Get ready for some classic 80s and 90s action heroes throwing down with modern flair, or at least attempting to. We're talking more firepower than a small army, more muscles than a bodybuilder convention, and enough one-liners to fill a stand-up special. If you like this sneak peek, hit the like button and subscribe. It's the best way to support the channel, and let me know you want more. So, the movie kicks off with a band, literally. Barney Ross and his crew, a walking advertisement for senior citizen Badassery, are on a mission to spring an old friend, Dr. Death, or Doc as his pals call him, from a ridiculously secure prison train. It's less of a rescue and more of a let single quotes as dash destroy dash this dash train dash to dash get dash or dash guy single quotes kind of operation, complete with helicopter shenanigans and enough gunfire to make a metal concert sound quiet. Doc, played by Wesley Snipes, just oozes cool even after being locked up for 8 years. He slides out like he just finished a spa day, ready to join the old men yelling at Cloud's club again. Honestly, the man hasn't missed a beat. He's got that classic Snipes swagger, perfectly complementing the rest of the crew's "we're too old for this, but we're doing it anyway" vibe. Once Doc is safely on board, Barney gets a new mission briefing from CIA agent Drummer, played by Harrison Ford, which is pretty much the who's who of action movie legends. Drummer wants them to intercept a shipment of bombs in Mogadishu. This isn't just any arms deal. It's a stop-a-war kind of deal, which for the Expendables usually means cause a lot more explosions to prevent an explosion. The team prepares for their next assignment, completely oblivious to the real threat lurking in the shadows. Proving that even legends can be a bit behind on their villain intel, the team rolls into Mogadishu. All business and big guns, ready to snatch some bombs. Everything is going according to the blow stuff up plan until a familiar, chilling face appears. Enter Conrad Stonebanks, played with gleeful villainy by Mel Gibson. Now, Stonebanks is supposed to be worm food, a ghost from Barney's past who he supposedly killed years ago. Turns out, Barney's aim wasn't quite as expendable as he thought. and Stonebanks is very much alive, kicking, and probably a little miffed about the whole being left for dead thing. The surprise reveal is a gut punch, both literally and figuratively, as Stonebanks unleashes a torrent of gunfire and insults, showing he hasn't lost his touch for either. The firefight that erupts is pure chaos, a symphony of bullets, explosions, and frantic shouting. Stonebanks is a formidable foe, not just physically, but psychologically, constantly taunting Barney about their shared history and his supposed betrayal. He's like that ex who just won't quit, but instead of late-night texts, he sends a barrage of heavily armed mercenaries. During the intense skirmish, Stonebanks manages to get the upper hand, and the team finds themselves in a really tight spot. This isn't just a mission anymore. It's personal, with layers of old wounds and grudges adding extra weight to every shot fired. The sound of Stonebanks' cackling laughter over the din of battle is particularly grating. A true villain's soundtrack. The Mogadishu mission quickly goes from bomb retrieval to urgent evacuation when Stonebanks turns the tables. In the midst of the carnage, Caesar, the team's gentle giant with the big guns and an even bigger heart, takes a serious hit. It's a gut-wrenching moment, the kind that makes you audibly wince. The metallic clang of the bullet hitting his armored vest, followed by his pained gasp, rings through the chaos. He clutches his chest, the sound of his heavy breathing suddenly strained as he collapses. It's a stark reminder that even these seemingly invincible heroes aren't bulletproof, no matter how many muscles they flex. Barney is absolutely furious, a simmering rage that promises future retribution, but for now, retreat is the only option. The team scrambles, dragging Caesar's wounded form, the weight of their failure and his injury heavy on their shoulders. The whoosh of rotor blades signals their escape, but it's a hollow victory. The mission failed, a friend is critically injured, and a supposedly dead enemy is very much alive and kicking. Barney's face is a mask of grim determination, realizing that his past has finally caught up to him in the most brutal way possible. The loss hits him hard, forcing him to confront the grim reality of their high-stakes profession. The sound of the helicopter blades slicing through the air provides a somber soundtrack to their hasty retreat, leaving a trail of destruction and unanswered questions in their wake. Back at base, the mood is heavier than a stack of depleted uranium. Caesar is clinging to life, and Barney, ever the stoic leader, shoulders the blame. He looks at his crew, Lee Christmas, Gunner, Toll Road, and Doc, a collection of weathered warriors who have faced down everything from dictators to questionable fashion choices. He sees the graying hair, the weary eyes, and the accumulation of scars that tell tales of 1,000 battles. He then delivers the bombshell. The team is disbanded. It's a tough pill to swallow, a seismic shift in their well-established dynamic. The metallic clink of their untouched beers, the unspoken words hanging heavy in the air, paint a picture of betrayal and concern. Barney believes they're too old, too slow, and too vulnerable to go up against Stonebanks, a man who knows all their tricks. It's a moment of profound sadness, watching these brothers in arms being told their services are no longer required, like a beloved but outdated piece of tech. The sound of their footsteps as they slowly disperse is almost deafening in its quiet finality. This isn't a retirement party. It's a forced separation born of a leader's fear for his friends' lives. Barney, ever the lone wolf, decides he has to face Stonebanks alone, or at least with a fresh, younger crew who don't have decades of shared history clouding his judgment. His decision is met with a mix of understanding and resentment, but ultimately, the team respects his call, even if it tears them apart. It's a stark, dramatic turn, setting the stage for a new chapter, or an old man's midlife crisis, depending on how you look at it. With the old team benched, Barney turns to Bonaparte, a former Marine and, conveniently, a top-tier recruiter of young, hungry talent. Bonaparte is like a human LinkedIn for mercenaries, complete with a snarky attitude and a vast network of individuals who probably don't have a 401k. The dude sits in a dimly lit room, the screen displaying a rogues gallery of potential new blood. Barney wants people who are younger, faster, smarter, which, let's be honest, is a bit of a slap in the face to his old pals. But hey, when your nemesis is a ghost from the past, you gotta try something different, right? Bonaparte introduces us to the young guns of this movie. Luna, a tough-as-nails bouncer. Smiley, a former army ranger with a serious chip on his shoulder. Mars, a tech expert who's probably more comfortable with a keyboard than a combat knife. And Thorn, a hacker who makes Anonymous look like a neighborhood watch. Each introduction is a mini montage of their skills, showcasing everything from parkour to pinpoint sniper shots. The sound of their weapons firing on the firing range, the quick cuts of their impressive physical feats, all highlight that these kids are definitely not your grandfather's Expendables. Barney puts them through a rigorous tryout, a series of almost comically dangerous tests to see if they can hack it. He's looking for raw talent, not just muscle, and he finds it in spades. This whole sequence feels a bit like an extreme sports reality show mixed with a military recruitment video, but it works, setting up a fresh dynamic for the franchise. It's all about finding that perfect blend of youthful exuberance and reckless abandon, which, let's be honest, are basically synonyms for expendable. Time for the new kids on the block to prove their worth. Barney takes his Expendables to Point Zero on a recon mission to Romania, tasked with infiltrating a heavily guarded building where Stonebanks is rumored to be lurking. This is their baptism by fire, a chance to see if their shiny new skills can hold up under actual combat pressure. The scene is a masterclass in stealth and precision, at least initially. They rappel down the side of a towering building, moving with a youthful agility that makes the old Expendables look like they're wading through quicksand. The quiet thwip of their grapple hooks, the almost silent landing of their boots, all emphasize their stealth. Mars, the tech guy, works his magic, bypassing security systems with a few deft keystrokes. Luna, Smiley, and Thorn execute their assignments with impressive efficiency, demonstrating that Barney's recruitment drive wasn't a total bust. The tension builds with every silent step, every whispered command. It's a refreshing change of pace from the usual shoot first, ask questions, never approach of the original crew. However, as is tradition in action movies, things inevitably go sideways. They get the intel they need, confirming Stonebanks is indeed alive and plotting nefarious deeds, but they also get spotted. The mission quickly escalates from a stealth operation to a full-blown extraction, complete with a frantic chase scene through crowded streets. This is where their inexperience shows a bit, but also their raw grit. They escape, but not without a few close calls and a whole lot of adrenaline. It's a clear signal that while they're capable, they're not quite seasoned veterans yet, still prone to the occasional stumble or explosive miscalculation, just when the new team starts feeling a little too confident, proving that maybe Barney's youth movement wasn't such a terrible idea after all. Stonebanks strikes back. In a classic villain move, he anticipates their next step and springs a meticulously planned ambush. The scene shifts abruptly from a brief moment of celebration to pure dread. The whomp of stun grenades, the flash of muzzle fire from unseen assailants, and the sudden shouts of confusion quickly overwhelm the young crew. They're good, but they're not invincible, and Stonebanks' forces are well-equipped and merciless. It's a brutal, efficient takedown, showcasing Stonebanks' tactical prowess and cold-blooded efficiency. Barney, monitoring remotely, watches in horror as his new recruits are systematically captured. The frantic crackle of the radio, followed by static, confirms his worst fears. The sight of his young team, bound and gagged, kneeling before Stonebanks in a grimy warehouse is a gut punch. Stonebanks, of course, can't resist a villainous monologue, delivering a chilling speech about Barney's failure and the expendability of his new team. The camera lingers on the terrified faces of Luna, Smiley, Mars, and Thorn, highlighting their vulnerability. This isn't a training exercise anymore. This is deadly serious, and Barney's decision to sideline his old friends now looks like a catastrophic misjudgment. The metallic clanging of chains and Stonebanks' menacing laugh echo through the warehouse, signaling a dire predicament for the captured crew and a major headache for Barney. The stakes have just been raised dramatically, and Barney is left with a terrible choice: abandon his new team or risk everything to save them, knowing he can't do it alone. Well, Isn't this awkward? Barney, having famously declared his old team to ancient for the job, now finds himself in a rather precarious pickle. His new, younger, faster, smarter recruits are currently Stonebanks' unwilling guests, and Barney is decidedly out of options. So what does a seasoned mercenary leader do when he's in over his head? He goes crawling back to his old friends, of course. He first seeks out Drummer, played by the perpetually unamused Harrison Ford, who delivers lines with the dry wit of a man who's seen it all and is just trying to get through the day. The conversation is a masterclass in grudging respect, with Drummer providing intel and a whole lot of sass. Then comes the legendary Trench, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, who seems to exist purely to drop iconic one-liners and flex dramatically. The reunion is less warm embrace and more heavyweight champions sizing each other up, but the underlying camaraderie is undeniable. The sound of their gruff voices, the easy banter despite the gravity of the situation, reminds us why these guys are so much fun to watch. But that's not all. Barney also recruits Galgo, a new mercenary played by Antonio Banderas, who is so enthusiastic. He makes a puppy seem reserved. Galgo's non-stop chatter and eagerness to join the action provides some much-needed comedic relief amidst the grim reality. It's a classic getting the band back together montage, but with more explosions and significantly less musical talent. This assembly of legends, old and new, sets the stage for the ultimate showdown, proving that sometimes you just can't beat experience. And a very large arsenal. Word travels fast in the mercenary world, especially when it involves saving a bunch of rookies from a notoriously evil arms dealer. One by one, the original Expendables Christmas, Gunner, Toll Road, and Doc show up, not with a "we told you so," but with a quiet, knowing understanding. They might have been benched, but their loyalty to Barney and their code runs deeper than any perceived slight. The reunion in the hangar is less sentimental and more a let's get to work kind of vibe. You hear the satisfying metallic clicks of weapons being loaded, the heavy thud of gear being dropped, and the low rumble of engines as vehicles are prepped. It's a symphony of impending destruction. The old team, along with Drummer, Trench, and the newly recruited Galgo, gather around a holographic map, discussing tactics. It's a blend of old school grit and new school tech, as they formulate a plan to breach Stonebanks' fortress. The banter is back, sharper and more sarcastic than ever, but underneath it all is a palpable tension and a shared resolve. They're not just saving some kids. They're reclaiming their honor and protecting their legacy. The sheer amount of firepower being assembled is staggering, enough to make a small country nervous. This isn't just a rescue mission. It's a statement, a declaration that you don't mess with the Expendables, new or old. The sound of their boots marching in unison, the determined looks on their faces, signal that Stonebanks is about to have a very, very bad day. It's a glorious sight for any action fan, confirming that sometimes the best solution is just to throw more legends at the problem. Alright, buckle up buttercups, because this is where the movie truly earns its Expendables title. The entire, now enlarged team, a veritable all-star cast of action heroes, launches a full-scale assault on Stonebanks' ridiculously fortified headquarters. It's located in some dystopian-looking Eastern European city that seems specifically designed for maximum collateral damage. The sheer scale of the attack is breathtaking. Helicopters roar through the skies, their rotors chopping at the air with a menacing thump-thump-thump, while armored vehicles tear through the streets below. It's a symphony of chaos, with explosions rocking the urban landscape, sending debris showering everywhere. The ground assault is a ballet of bullets and brutality. Barney, Christmas, and the rest of the old guard lead the charge, a storm of lead and fury. Doc, with his knives, moves like a silent, deadly predator, while Gunner provides heavy cover, his machine gun spewing a continuous stream of hot brass. The new kids, eager to prove their mettle, follow closely, their youthful energy adding another layer to the relentless attack. The crunch of shattered glass, the thwug of bullets hitting concrete, and the constant roar of gunfire create an immersive, almost overwhelming auditory experience. Stonebanks' forces, though numerous, are clearly outmatched by the sheer, overwhelming force of the Expendables. It's a glorious, gratuitous display of cinematic violence, proving that when these guys decide to throw a party, everyone gets an explosive invitation. The initial breach is a resounding success, but they know this is just the beginning. The real battle is yet to come, deep within the heart of Stonebanks' lair. Inside Stonebanks' compound, the battle shifts from wide-open warfare to claustrophobic close-quarters combat. The team splits, each veteran leading a small unit. Like grizzled generals directing their eager platoons, Lee Christmas, with his lightning-fast knife throws, becomes a blur of lethal precision, the whoosh of each blade cutting through the air before finding its mark with a sickening thud. Gunner, predictably, finds the biggest gun and proceeds to make a lot of noise, his machine gun roaring like an angry dragon, tearing through walls and bad guys with equal prejudice. Toll Road. Ever the explosives expert strategically places charges to detonate with a satisfying kaboom, reshaping the architecture of the building and the morale of Stonebanks' men. The new recruits, watching in awe and participating with adrenaline-fueled zeal, learn on the fly, dodging bullets and engaging in brutal hand-to-hand combat. The metallic clang of weapons on armor, the guttural grunts of men in battle, and the constant echo of gunfire create a relentless, pounding rhythm. This isn't just a firefight, it's a chaotic ballet of destruction, a symphony of explosions and broken bodies. The team navigates tight corridors, bursts into open courtyards, and clears rooms with practiced efficiency, leaving a trail of defeated mercenaries in their wake. Every punch connects with a satisfying crack, every shot fired rings with a deadly purpose. It's a non-stop barrage of action, a visceral experience that truly puts you in the middle of the melee. The combined might of the old and new Expendables is an unstoppable force, proving that Stonebanks severely underestimated the power of friendship and an absurd amount of ammunition. The compound is slowly but surely falling, paving the way for the inevitable confrontation with the man behind all this mayhem. With his compound crumbling around him, literally and figuratively, Stonebanks realizes his carefully constructed empire is collapsing faster than a Jenga tower during an earthquake. His forces are decimated, his plans are in tatters, and his ego is probably bruised beyond repair. So, like any good villain who knows when to cut his losses, he makes a run for it. But Barney Ross isn't about to let his arch-nemesis slip away again. Not after Caesar, not after the capture of his new team, and certainly not after all the property damage these guys just inflicted. The pursuit is relentless, a desperate chase through a collapsing, smoke-filled building, the creak of twisting metal, the rumble of falling concrete, and the shatter of breaking glass provide a dramatic backdrop to their personal vendetta. Stonebanks, surprisingly agile for a man who talks so much, darts through the wreckage, occasionally firing potshots back at Barney, more out of desperation than actual strategy. Barney, a man possessed, follows close behind, his face a mask of grim determination. He's not just chasing a target, he's chasing closure, a chance to finally lay the ghost of his past to rest. The sound of their heavy breathing, punctuated by the occasional grunt of effort, is almost palpable. This isn't a team effort anymore. This is personal, a one-on-one duel that has been decades in the making. The scene builds to a crescendo, with the very structure of the building threatening to give way, adding an extra layer of peril to their deadly game of cat and mouse. It's a high-stakes, high-tension chase with the fate of Stonebanks and Barney's own peace of mind hanging in the balance, all played out amidst a literal crumbling empire. Finally, after decades of history, betrayal, and enough explosions to power a small city, Barney Ross and Conrad Stonebanks stand face to face, ready for their final dance. It's not a graceful waltz, it's a vicious, bone-jarring brawl. A raw display of two old dogs with a score to settle. The arena is a crumbling section of the compound, full of twisted rebar and broken concrete, a fitting backdrop for such a fractured relationship. Every punch thrown by Stonebanks carries the weight of his perceived betrayal. A thud of pure hatred, Every blow delivered by Barney is an expression of his own guilt and fury over Caesar's injury and the danger his team faced. The crack of knuckles against jaw, the grunt of effort, the heavy breathing as they trade blows all create a visceral soundscape. This isn't some fancy choreographed fight. It's ugly, desperate, and deeply personal. They throw each other through debris, use whatever makeshift weapons they can find, and generally beat the absolute snot out of each other. Stonebanks, with his manic grin and taunting words, tries to get under Barney's skin, constantly reminding him of their shared past. But Barney, fueled by a quiet rage, just keeps coming. It's a test of endurance, skill, and sheer willpower, with each man pushing the other to their absolute limit. The metallic creak of the unstable building structure around them adds another layer of tension, as if the very environment is groaning under the weight of their long-standing feud. The fight is brutal, unglamorous, and utterly captivating, a testament to the raw power and determination of these two veteran actors. This isn't just a fight for survival. It's a fight for redemption and closure after a grueling, no-holds-barred slugfest that saw both men battered and bruised. Barney Ross finally gains the upper hand. Stonebanks, despite his villainous charm and surprisingly resilient physique, is ultimately defeated. He's down, beaten, and for a brief moment, looks almost pathetic, stripped of his bravado. But even in defeat, he can't resist one last taunt, one final verbal jab at Barney, daring him to finish the job. He probably thought Barney, being the hero and all, would leave him to the authorities or deliver a grand, moralistic speech. Nope, Barney isn't playing by those rules. Especially not after everything Stonebanks put them through. With a grim, determined look, Barney raises his weapon, a trusty pistol, because sometimes you just need to keep it classic, and delivers the final, decisive shot. The single, sharp bang of the gun echoes through the dilapidated building, a stark punctuation mark to their decades-long rivalry. There's no dramatic monologue, no lingering doubt, just a cold, hard resolution. The silence that follows is deafening, a stark contrast to the cacophony of the battle that just preceded it. It's a moment of profound finality. A dark chapter in Barney's life finally closed. He stands over Stonebanks' body, not with triumph, but with a weary sense of closure. The weight of his past finally lifted. This isn't a victory dance. It's a moment of grim satisfaction and the quiet understanding that some enemies can only be truly defeated with extreme prejudice. The rest of the team, having secured the perimeter, arrives to find Barney standing alone. The air thick with unspoken resolution. The threat is over. The score is settled. And the Expendables can finally catch their breath, if only for a moment. With Stonebanks finally out of the picture and the compound looking like a particularly aggressive demolition derby, it's time for the Expendables to make their grand exit. The entire crew, the seasoned veterans, the surprisingly capable rookies, and even the delightfully chatty Galgo scrambles onto a waiting helicopter. It's a chaotic but celebratory scene. Everyone a bit banged up but undeniably victorious. You hear the excited shouts, the relieved laughter, and the triumphant roar of the helicopter engines as they lift off, leaving the wreckage behind. The camaraderie is palpable, the old guard exchanging knowing glances with the new blood, a silent acknowledgement of their shared ordeal and mutual respect. The tension drains away, replaced by a sense of camaraderie and well-earned relief. Back at base, they gather for a well-deserved drink, the clinking of glasses echoing their success. Barney even manages a rare smile, a genuine one that reaches his eyes. The new recruits are officially inducted into the Expendables family, proving that youth and experience can, in fact, coexist when there are enough bad guys to blow up. The final shots show the team together, a band of brothers and sisters, ready for whatever insane mission comes next. The sound of their hearty laughter, the clinking of their celebratory drinks, and the general jovial atmosphere wrap up the movie on a high note, reminding us that even in a world of explosions and betrayals, friendship and ridiculously large guns always win the day. It's a fitting end to a movie that delivered exactly what it promised, a whole lot of action and a healthy dose of nostalgia for a golden era of cinema. What an absolute ride. Ha! The Expendables 3 feet might just be the perfect blend of nostalgic reverence and modern-day mayhem. It reminded us that while age might bring a few more aches and pains, it also brings unparalleled wisdom and, let's be honest, a much bigger arsenal. We saw a leader struggle with the burden of protecting his family, both by blood and by bullets, and ultimately learned that some bonds are simply unbreakable. It's a testament to the enduring power of teamwork, loyalty, and a whole lot of well-placed explosives. The movie, for all its pyrotechnics, subtly nudged us to remember that true strength lies not just in individual might, but in the collective spirit and unwavering support of those who stand beside you. It's about finding your place, whether you're a seasoned veteran or a fresh-faced recruit, and realizing that sometimes the greatest adventures are shared.